after watching E3, and everything that has happened after E3, what can I say? I can see where the gaming industry is heading. I can see where, you know, what's going to be the next big thing for gaming. And basically, it's going to be moving gaming from a product to a service. That's where gaming is heading. Basically, like Game New adamantly stated at Sony's E3 press conference a year before Portal 2 got released, and a year before the PS3 got hacked. So, with that being said, basically we're going to see more of like which corporation can offer the best online gaming servers, which at the moment is Valve's Steam service. No denying that. And besides that, we're going to see more of that, more subscriptions, annoying subscriptions. I hate subscriptions. um and basically that's one of the things you're going to see. A lot of services that you may want to pay or not want to pay. You're also going to see like more features. There may be gaming features, there may be social features, so you're going to see more of that. We're also going to see the trials and errors of cloud gaming, the ups and downs of cloud gaming, the complexity, complications, the pros and cons of cloud gaming. And this is where Sony and Microsoft are gonna push it a lot coming this generation. Sony has Kakai, Microsoft has its own cloud computer thingy, and basically they're gonna push forward to stream games. We may get a Netflix like deal out of this, but that's gonna take quite a while. Definitely that's gonna take quite a while. But what Sony can do with Kakai, and we keep hearing a lot that one of the plans of Sony's Kakai service is to stream PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. And now this could be a way to bring back backwards compatibility in a more efficient and more affordable way. Meaning that instead of emulating the game or adding the PS3 cell processor right into the PS4, what they can do is basically allow gamers to insert the PS1, PS2, or PS3 video game disc into the PS4 and then go through the Kakai servers and stream the game data that's available on say PS1, PS2, and PS3 video game discs. Now, will that happen? Most likely not, and it will only happen if gamers really push for it and really inform Sony about it. And it's like testing the waters of what cloud gaming can do. And if you think about it, it's very cheap, and it's going to be something that I'm pretty sure that Kakai cloud servers are capable of doing. I mean, the game data is already on the disk. All they have to do is stream it from the disk onto the TV. That's pretty basic cloud gaming computer. just like cloud saves, so expect more of that. Um, the other thing is oh man, the integration of cell phone and tablets work in conjunction with video game console. Um, which actually can really, which actually may not be a big game changer, but they're really doing what Nintendo failed to do with the Wii U's tablet, pretty much rendering the Wii U gamepad wannabe tablet utterly useless. What we're going to see more of is we're going to see, like, if you saw the user press conference and you saw Watch Dogs, or Sony's E3 press conference when it came to Watch Dogs, where you use the iPad, right? And then on the iPad you see the map of the game, and then you can see where you know the lost the police helicopters, my bad, the police helicopters are located, and then you mapping a way to get around it. Or you can also use it to hack into the police files and what have you, all through the iPad. That's pretty neat, right? Expect to see be able to log in into the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live through your smartphone or tablet. Join a match, chat with your PSN or Xbox Live buddies, right? Expect more of that. Expect more of, like, instead of seeing all the menus of say game on the TV, you see them on your smartphone or tablet, and then you do all the changes that need to be changed through your smartphone or tablet. That's what I meant, rendering the freaking Wii U's wannabe tablet utterly useless. What makes it even more useless to the Wii U tablet gamepad wannabe is the PlayStation Vita. The fact is, you saw Sony's E3 press conference, you can play all your PS4 games on the Vita. What does that mean? That means two things. One, we're not going to see half-ass ports of PS4 games on the Vita, which is a good thing. Number two, you're gonna be able to play your PS4 games while you're at the MD office, while you're at the park, pretty much outside your home, and pretty much anywhere in your home. So you can play your PS4 game anywhere of your home, as well outside your home. Something that you can do with the Wii U games due to Nintendo's 3DS handheld system. So expect more of that. Now, the one thing that I really enjoy about this E3 was open world gaming. Basically, we're moving away from from Michael Bay Productions linear games into more open world games. And which also means we're going to see more seamless gameplay. Basically, we're going to see the fusion between single player and online gaming into one. Like we saw in The Crew, right? You start off a race, like typical in your single player game, then all of a sudden someone comes in and say, hey, I challenge you to a race. Bam, they challenge you to a race. Seamless, no loading times, no menus, just one click away. That is freaking awesome, right? Well, like we saw in Destiny, you start off like a single player campaign, chilling right there, walking around, showing gun scenes, all nice on like co-op. Then all of a sudden, all these monsters come out at the same time, and you start to see teams of people coming in to help you out, take out this humongous tank and all these enemies, all seamlessly. It went from being a single player game to an online co-op to an MMO. No loading times. no menus, no, you know, lag or any of that. That is like, wow, yes, like, whoa, that really, really impressed me. Um, so I can't wait for that. I also can't wait to see how these open worlds are gonna be less bland. Because that was the biggest problem with the with open worlds this generation. They were pretty bland. I mean, they had all these missions, but a lot of open world games didn't have like a true ecosystem. Like a life cycle where you see the stronger monsters seeing the weaker monsters, or the animals seeing the weaker animals, right? And we didn't saw like your actions really affecting gameplay wise. Basically, it was good and bad. There was really not much in terms of neutrality. Um, there wasn't much in terms of weather systems, and the weather system was pretty basic, right? So hopefully we see a more organic approach to it, where your actions really affect the game world, where every decision you make affects gameplay, where we see more mini games, more a true ecosystem, but the AI having their own schedule, doing their own things, etc., etc. If gaming does take that approach, that's gonna be freaking awesome and a good time to be a gamer. So it's going to be great. I mean, it could be the end of Michael Bay production linear games, which is actually a very good thing. So I really can't wait for that. It looks pretty good. Now, should I talk about the E3 press conferences between Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft? Sony, surprisingly enough, didn't show that many exclusives, which was pretty disappointing. They did show Killzone Shadowfall, but it really didn't want me because it was more of the same Michael Bay Productions linear type of game, which was kind of like bleh. And they showed Drive Club, but it was just sort of a montage, which was very disappointing. The one game that did interest me and really caught my eyes, and pretty much was the highlight of the Sony E3 press conference, was The Order 1886. I want to see more of that game. I want to see how it truly works. And if that was actual gameplay, that's gotta be pretty sweet. Um, the other thing is, I also pretty much like the fact they're going to be supporting more indie game developers and allowing indie game developers to self-publish the games. That's pretty damn good. So that's really good. Um, Sorry to say too many times. Okay, moving on. We also saw Sony taking a page from Microsoft by getting exclusive DLC content for multi-platform games. Yay! So that's kind of like okay, and that's where Sony's focus was the most, which was disappointing. The other thing I do want to point out, PlayStation Plus costs $50, not 60. So it's going to be less than $5 a month. Not $5 a month per se, but it's going to be less than $5 a month. They also want to keep the whole thing that when you become a PlayStation Plus member, your family and friends get to enjoy your PS Plus membership, which is distributed among equal party members. So that's really good. And that it was pretty lukewarm. Uh, the thing that I don't like is the whole pay to play online. Sony can change this by the time the PS4 releases, and I really do hope that Sony keeps online gaming free of charge, due to the fact that despite the PS3 having free online gaming by its text and chat free of charge, people still went out of their way to pay for PlayStation Plus. So what I'm saying is that this bare bones package that Sony has been offering for the PS3 for years now, which is the free online game, the gaming by text and chat, um, has has not been detrimental to the success and improvement of PlayStation Plus. So, if the current PS3 business model is working and improving and succeeding on PlayStation Plus, why abandon it? That doesn't make no sense. Why abandon a working business model? That to me doesn't make sense. And besides, who wants to pay $60 for a game, turn around and, open up believing that they got the full game when actually they only getting half a game, because the other half, aka the only portion of the games behind a paywall. Who wants to pay $60 for half a game? I'm not gonna pay $60 for half a game. That's retarded. I'll pay $30 for the single player campaign, but I'm not gonna pay $60 for the single player campaign or single player mode. That's not what I'm going to do. So that's what disappointing with me about these PlayStation fans. The whole principles, the whole idea that you gain half a game because the other half is behind a paywall. The morality, the fact that it is wrong to charge to pay to play online. All that went away the moment that Sony said we charging to pay to play online. I call that hypocrisy at best. Because that's what PlayStation fans were telling 360 gamers. And that was kind of like disappointing. So that was very disappointing. Very disappointing conference if you ask me. The other thing is Microsoft. They show the games. Okay, they show the games. I get that. I get that they show lots of games, but they didn't show a lot of game demos. With this demo of Rise, with this demo of Titanfall, and no, we didn't saw a demo of Titanfall. What's the demo? Yeah, we did saw a demo of Titanfall, and we did saw a demo of Forza. Obviously, Forza. They're going to show us a demo of Forza, and Killing Stick. But the thing that I like about this E3 press conference that we saw montage after montage of games with no details, with no like knowledge if there were CG trailers or they were, exclusive to Xbox One, or basically like how this game is going to play. Oh, I almost forgot. They did show a demo of Dead Rising 3. That is a multi-platform game, by the way. I almost forgot about that. But other than that, it was kind of like they didn't come forward in regards to the whole DRM policies. They didn't come forward in regards to Kinect or any of that. And it just left me confused and left me with more questions than answers. That's what disappointed me about the Microsoft 3 press conference. They did show the games, but we don't know if those were exclusives or not. They show us like a theater of the next Halo game, but we don't know if it's going to be a first-person shooter, most likely, a strategy game like Halo Wars, right? Or an action third person game. We don't know anything about those games that were shown at the Microsoft conference. So how can you expect me to be excited about games that we know very little about? So that's one of the things. Oh yeah, and then a week later after E3 press conference, my bad, Microsoft removes those DRM policies. Three reasons. One, the complaints, the moaning, and the throwing of tantrums of gamers. Number two, the continuous negativity from the press, the press coming in talking about how Xbox wants their policies, hurt the gamers, blah blah blah. And then Navy times, the Navy comes in and decides not to support Xbox One. Unfortunately, the Navy erased the original article, and I did not bookmark it. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. Anyhow, the moment the military said we're not supporting Xbox One, that was pretty much Microsoft's way of saying, yeah, we need to take away these DRM policies. The one thing that nobody has mentioned is the first sale doctrine, which I learned by going through the PAC report website. So there's an actual law that gives customers the legal rights to sell, trade, and buy used games. But video game journalists didn't cover this, and gamers didn't know about it. Even I didn't know about it until I come into the report and I see this thing called the first sale doctrine. Amazing. There was an actual law that protects that allows the customer to sell, trade, and buy used products. Unfortunately, the law only covers for physical products, not digital products. However, German gamers, use this law, and they pretty much came, I don't know, we allow information, what have you, to the Supreme Court of Germany, and pretty much force Valve to, sell, trade, and buy used Steam games. I don't know when they're going to bring that to the US, Japan, or Australia. Hopefully soon. We're talking about Valentine, so it's gonna take pretty while. So that's one thing I do want to bring about. Hopefully that ends the whole second-hand video game market meaningless debate. I don't want to hear no more if people say it is wrong to buy used games, it's illegal to buy used games. Just tell them, hey, have you heard the first sale doctrine law? No. Here's what it says: it's legal to buy used games. Okay, so that's one thing I do want to point out. What I'm trying to say is that Microsoft was violating the first sale doctrine law, and gamers didn't know about it, and video game journalists didn't cover it. Pathetic media, as always failing on us, these video game journalists. Okay, so that's one of the things I did wanted to point it out. Then this Nintendo, oh man. Oh, what a frustrating press conference that was. That was a very frustrating press conference. Very disappointing. Very lame. Disappointing. So basically this year you're getting basically with the Wii U will have fun and good games. I'm not gonna deny it. The problem with the Wii U is that you're going to have current generation video game experiences, not next generation video game experiences. That's one. Um, the Wii U lacks third-party support, and yes, third-party support is very important in the sense that it allows first-party game developers to take their time to make games for, the corporations, like Naughty can take their time to make a game, and while Naughty Dog is making that game, instead of the gamer waiting for Naughty Dog to release the game, they can play a couple of third or multi-platform games before the game gets released. And once they get tired of playing these multi-platform games, they can move into the exclusive game. Pretty neat concept, no? Um, Basically, it's to keep gamers playing games. Duh. Not keep them twiddling the fingers. And that's what Nintendo lacks. Activision is bringing, well, obviously gonna bring Call of Duty to the Wii U and a PS2 game by the name of Skylanders Force. I'm sorry, but that game looked like a freaking, what's that called? Oh yeah, like a freaking PS2 game. And we want to see Batman Arkham Origins on the Wii U. Okay, well they got the first Batman Arkham City. Obviously, I need to get back on Origins, no? And the rest is, oh, and I almost forgot Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Apparently, that's all Sega can offer to Nintendo, Sonic the Hedgehog games. More Sonic the Hedgehog games, okay. And the rest is just Ubisoft games. Apparently, Ubisoft is the only one that wants to support Nintendo. Oh, well, that truly sucks. So, no third-party support. And it looks like you're better off with a Nintendo 3DS. I'm sorry. There's more third-party support. There's more exclusives coming to the Nintendo 3DS. Actually, all the exclusives that they bring into the Wii U are coming to the 3DS. And for $40 instead of $60. Yeah, that's not gonna help the Wii U any. I'm sorry if I can play Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart 8, Super Mario 3D, the new upcoming Super Mario 3D on the Nintendo 3DS for $40, and even if I can play, say, what's that game? Xenoblade 2 on the Nintendo 3DS for $40, why would I wanna spend $60 on the Wii U version? That's like Nintendo saying, ha ha ha, we're screwing you and you loving it. No, I'm not. And here's the thing. What is Nintendo bringing when the PS4 and the Xbox One release? They're bringing the Wonderful 101. Yay! Oh no, that's coming on September, which is a game that we hardly know anything about. We did saw a game demo, but we still don't know how it plays. And it's a new IP. It looks pretty interesting. And that's one of the things. Then there's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I hope I got it right. It's just another platform. It reminds me a lot of Clonora. It reminds me a lot of Rayman Origins. It doesn't bring a next generation gaming experience. That's the problem right there. I'm going like, okay, no. Then there's Mario 3D. It's a Mario 3D Land or just Mario 3D? Okay, they bring a new Mario 3D game, which is Yes, Super Mario Bros. U in 3D. Uh, or it's just Mario 3D Land for the Wii U for $20 more. Very disappointing. What else they bringing this year? We Feed You and We Party You. Those are the games that Nintendo is bringing when the PS4 and Xbox One are launching. That doesn't make no sense. Like, those are the games that are going to sell Wii U's? No. Are those the games that prove that Wii U is a next generation's gaming system? No. Are those games going to sway gamers into buying a Wii U instead of PS4 Xbox One? No. Next year, however, Nintendo's bringing Xenoblade 2. They impressed me visually, they impressed me performance wise, and it's pretty much a JRPG where you can ride mechs and fly with mechs. That's pretty neat. I also like the fact that, well, it's real time battles as opposed to pre-render battles, so that's kind of cool. It's coming next year. What's also coming next year? Bayonetta 2. That game worries me because it looks, plays, feels like a PS3 360 game. And it's possible for Platinum Games to bring Bayonetta Resurrection, uh, Bayonetta Holy Package, whatever you wanna call it, to the PS3 and 360 and PS4. I mean, that's what they did with freaking Ninja Gaiden. Oh, let's call it Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. So, there's still that option. Oh, it's coming next year. Super Smash Bros. Yes, it does look a bit different than the Wii version, but same gameplay mechanics, same concept, same game design. Well, the only thing that changed was the visual, so what's worse is coming next year. Yeah. And then there was Mario Kart 8, pretty much the most creative game that Nintendo showed. Pretty much the game that showed that, hey, look, I can play underwater, I can play, the whole anti-gravity thing, you can use spikes. Pretty much the highlight of Nintendo's E3 press conference, pretty much the game that looked pretty damn good, and the game that is guaranteed to sell Wii U's, the game that proves that the Wii U is a next-gen system, the game that could sway people to buy a Wii U instead of PS4 and or Xbox One is coming next year. The hell? How come? That doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. The highlight of the E3 Nintendo press conference was Mario Kart 8, 9, whatever. And that's the game that Nintendo needed to release this year, not next year. The hell, by the time they release the next year, people are gonna be playing the Crew and the Division, and that game's gonna be forgotten. I'm sorry, but it doesn't make no sense. It just doesn't make no sense. Their best game, the game that Kusoi uses, is coming next year. How is that make sense? Do they really think that We Party You and We Feed You and the Mario game is gonna be enough to sway people into buying a Wii U instead of PS1 Xbox One? Really? Utter epic failure. Epic failure. Nintendo can go kick rocks. Nintendo utterly failed this upcoming generation. They utterly failed. They're freaking done. They're done. They're just done. They're No, they're done. No, forget Nintendo. They're freaking done. They're done. I mean, they're gonna release it by Mario Kart is gonna be released probably next to Grand Theft Auto 5. Wow, wow, oh, like oh, no, Nintendo just go kick rocks. The oh, yes, Nintendo failed. I'm sorry, Nintendo just completely and utterly failed. It failed. I'm sorry. It failed. I mean, at least Microsoft, took away its DRM policies and decided not to violate the first sale doctrine law after all. And at least Microsoft is getting all those multi-platform games. And the bill is dead. And a couple exclusives. And at least, hopefully, I'm not so sure, but well, Black Vampire that they so I don't know. I'm sorry, but anyone that thinks the Nintendo has any hope, or the Nintendo is gonna, you know, become, still has hope, they're dreaming, they're pretty much delusion. I mean, Nintendo is just, they completely failed. He's the most failure part of them all. All of these games that I mentioned, all of these games that Nintendo showed at the E3 press conference, none of them show the capabilities, the strengths of the Wii U gamepad. Oh, what was the point of releasing a tablet wannabe controller? I don't understand. What was the point? All of the upcoming Wii U games can play fine with the Wii U Pro controller, rendering the Wii U gamepad utterly, totally useless. I want to know what was the point of the Wii U gamepad, how the gamepad was going to change gaming, how that bloody tablet wannabe was going to improve gaming, because it's not even utilized. That's how much Nintendo has failed. Oh. And this is a company I grew up with. Yeah, it's all my childhood memories in regards to gaming come from Nintendo. To see, the company you grew up with completely and utterly fail and continue to fail is disappointing. Disappointing. Well, at least User came and saved the day with the Crew, the Division, Watch Dogs, and Kojima showed the phenomenal of Metal Gear Solid 5. I really did enjoy the Ubisoft press conference. I mean, they really have neat ideas like the interactive TV show of the whole rabbit thing, racing rabbits. That is pretty neat. The Division. Oh, the Division. I can't wait for that game. The Division. Yes. That game is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay? Phenomenal. The Crew. Oh man, that game is going to be sweet. Simplest racing game across all over the US. Wow. Going into the mountains, the snow, the cities, back into the desert with no loading times, no lag. Oh man, that's gonna be sweet. Destiny is another game that I can't wait. It looks really good. I like the whole seamless gaming experience. I like the whole fusion from single player to online play. That's gonna be really sweet. Pretty much, that was the best thing the E3 show. Rayman Legends actually looks way better than Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Yay! I can't wait to play that game. So that's the thing. So to say so many times. Basically, the big three utterly failed this E3 and Ubisoft came on top. Ubisoft and Konami really showed the future of gaming while Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft were completely and utterly clueless and completely out of touch. Well, Sony didn't feel that much, at least they showed the order, but they really didn't give like a neat press conference. I don't know. I mean, I felt pretty business like when it came to the Sony conference, pretty rushed, and I was kind of like disappointed. Microsoft showed a bunch of montage of games, and if that was going to satisfy anyone, oh, here's a bunch of games. We're not gonna give you any details of say games. We're not gonna tell you how those games plays. We're not gonna tell you if that was actual gameplay or that was CGI trailer. Oh yeah, that's helpful. Get out of here, Microsoft. And, I don't want to talk about Nintendo. I don't want to talk about Nintendo. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm glad Ubisoft came in because I was about to cry in tears at this year's E3 conference. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. But Ubisoft saved the day. I mean, the division. Oh man. That's all I'm gonna say. Take it or leave it.